Are you burned out from sitting at a computer all day? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 5 easy and powerful exercises that you can do right at your desk. So if you work at home, this is going to be perfect for you because all you need is a chair. Or if you just want to move better and feel better, increasing your strength and mobility throughout the day, then stick around for this video because I'm going to show you what you can do with a chair to stay active and mobile and keep moving throughout the day in a way that's really easy and accessible for you. I'm Jenna. I am a movement and pain specialist. I have been helping people to recover from injuries and chronic pain for the last 20 years so that they can live their best life and get back to the things that they love to do. I find with my clients that's the number one challenge is they just feel like they don't have enough time to move. So because of that, I created this video today. And if you would like to get the workbook that goes along with this video so that you can learn more exercises you can do, 8 hacks to move better and feel better throughout the day. If you're working at a desk, then this would be perfect for you. So find the link below in the description box and you can have access to that workbook for free. I'm excited to get to it, so grab your chair and let's get moving. So my first suggestion for how you can find more ease in your day-to-day life is practicing getting up from a chair as if it was an exercise, because really it is. So if you're sitting a lot throughout the day, whether it's for work because you're sitting in front of a computer or at an office, or it's because you're sitting on the couch, then you can create an exercise out of getting up and down from that chair. So the first step would be what we call sit to stand. It's an actual exercise. So the first part of that exercise would be to hinge at your hips. And notice how I'm keeping a neutral spine. So a neutral spine is just where I have a straight line from my head through my pelvis. I'm hinging forward at my hips, and I'm just going to press into my feet and feel my glutes working as I come up to standing. And then I'm going to slowly sit back down into my chair. And what did I just do? I did a squat. So this is a really powerful exercise that you can do without having to go to the gym or get any fancy equipment. Just do it right here. Every time you get up from a chair, you're doing a squat, especially when you sit back down. So my suggestion would be to do this 5 times. So say you're going to get up from your desk, you're going to hinge, look down, and send your pelvis forward so that you end up with your pelvis over your leg bones, your femurs. Then again, we're going to send the tail back, doing a squat to come back down in that chair. So let's do that again. We're going to hinge forward, keep a neutral spine, and root down through your heels. You want to feel your glutes working. And if you want to get even more work in your quads and in your glutes, you're going to really slow it down each time you sit down. So let's do that from the side view so you can see what my spine is doing. So I have that neutral spine, flat back, hinging forward at my hips. I'm not rounding because that's not going to feel good in your back if you get up with that flexion in your lower spine. So instead, I'm pushing into my heels, coming up with control, hinging into my hips as I slowly sit back down. And I like to explain to my clients, it's like you have ducktail feathers and you're showing off your ducktail feathers. And so that's how you find your neutral spine. Again, hinging forward, ducktail feathers, creasing into the hips. I'm going to hold it now. I'm going to do little pulses up and down. So this is the next level. I know all of the viewers of this channel are at different levels of their health and fitness, so maybe this isn't appropriate for you, but if you want to add some extra quad and glute work, this is what I would suggest. Do 10 pulses and then sit down. You just did some exercise and you didn't even have to go anywhere, and that took about 1 minute. So give that a shot. The second exercise I would suggest to find more movement and mobility throughout your day would be to take your legs wide. That helps stabilize your pelvis. Take your hands behind your head, sit up nice and tall, take your head back into your hands. And even this position right here is an exercise because we tend to hold our heads forward throughout the day. So this helps to remind us to keep our head back. So now what I'm going to do is add some rotation. This is going to help mobilize my thoracic spine, my upper back, and it's nice to do this with the breath. So I would inhale here, and as I exhale, twist and center, and twist and center. And exhale, twist, center, and twist, and center. You may have noticed I added that that's called a percussive breath, and that can be a nice additive if you want to do a little bit more breath work, and that helps to bring in new fresh oxygen into our lungs. Now, the third thing you can do without even having to leave your chair would be to stretch back over your chair by bringing your hands behind your head. Take a deep breath in, start to lean back, and it depends on your height, but for me, the edge of the chair, it's in the perfect place. I'm also showing the side view, and I get such a nice stretch in my pecs, my chest, and a release in my upper back. So this position basically reverses all of that forward head posture, rolled shoulders that is often associated with working at a computer or at a desk. So now we're going to get up out of our chair. We're going to come around to the back of the chair. If you are using an office chair, it might have a much higher backrest. In that case, maybe this won't work. So then you could go into your kitchen, find a chair that's the right size. And what I'm going to do is start to walk my hips back. And again, I'm going to find that neutral spine. And I'm going to go for a really nice shoulder stretch here, opening up the pecs, those underarm muscles, and taking some nice long deep breaths here. I'm maintaining that neutral spine, and I also get a really good hamstring stretch. And then I'm going to come on up from there. Very good. So hopefully that was a nice way to release your shoulders, release your upper back. And now I'm going to come around to the front of the chair. So what I'm going to do now from the back side of the chair is walk myself back, and I'm going to again go into a set of squats. And notice how I just have my hands on the chair, and I'm using the chair to help me stay more upright in my torso, and I'm using it for balance. Having a little bit of a higher chair here would actually be better. If it was maybe shoulder level and heavier, then you could lean back off of the chair, but this chair works too, just giving me a little extra stability. So when you're doing your squats, you want to make sure that your hip sockets are right over your knees, ankles, toes. It's much easier to work on tracking your knees with your ankles and your hips if your feet start right under your sitting bones. If your feet are wide, it's much harder to find that tracking, and most people end up knocking their knees in or bowing them out. So in the Pilates style squat, that's why we usually do it feet under our hip sockets and coming down. Beautiful. So from there, I'm just going to stretch the quads, which are the muscles I was just working in those squats. So for this, I just have my hand on the chair, and I take my heel, and I just gently bring it closer to my pelvis. As I do that, I'm thinking about gently tucking my tail under, drawing the abdominal wall in, and lengthening my spine. Let's go ahead and do that on the other side. Important to lengthen these muscles if you sit throughout the day because those muscles are getting tight and short. And whenever a muscle becomes tight and short, then that can cause immobility in the joint where those muscles are attaching to. If you're having knee pain or hip pain, that's where you want to look, is the quads and the hamstrings. So any muscles that might attach to those joints, make sure that they are strong, stable, and mobile. The body is always wanting the right recipe of those things. Now I'm going to come around to the front of the chair. I'm going to place my foot up on the chair, and I'm going to bring my hands behind my head, just like I did earlier. I'm going to lift my chest here and take a deep breath. And as I exhale, I'm just going to, again, find that rotation in my upper back. So rotation is really important for keeping the mobility of our thoracic spine, our upper spine. I'm going to do 2 more like that, and 1 more there. From there, I'll go ahead and bring my arms down. I'm going to straighten my leg, flex at my hips again. I'm even going to spread my toes because when I spread my toes, that's going to help to mobilize the bones in my feet. I'm thinking about sending my chest towards my toes and keeping my spine long, sticking out those ducktail feathers. Now, of course, if your hamstrings are tighter, it's going to be much more challenging to get into this position while showing off your ducktail feathers. In other words, maintaining your neutral spine. So in that case, you might want to bring your leg down a little bit lower onto a stool or something that's a little easier for you to get your foot on. And if you need to bend your knee a little bit to get into the position, then that's fine too. We're going for a stretch down the back of the leg. So as long as you're feeling it there, then you are doing this exercise right. Let's go ahead and try that on the other side. We're going to bring the foot up, hands behind the head. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the right. Find center, and again, twist, and center, and twist, and center. From there, I'm going to straighten my leg, flex my foot, spread my toes, nice long spine, take a deep breath, and I'm going for a hinge at my hips as opposed to this. We want to try to get out of that flexion in our spine, open up the chest, find that length, and then hinge forward. Nice. So now what I'm going to do is sit with one leg forward and one leg out to the side like an outrigger. Again, you might have to play around with which chair you're using so it's the right height for you. I'm going to feel my sitting bones equally weighted on the chair. From there, I take one hand down my leg, the other arm reaches up and over, and I do a nice side bend. And stretching out these muscles, these are your lats. It's really important to stretch these muscles. Again, if you're sitting throughout the day or if you're just not doing a lot of movement, you definitely want to address these muscles because, again, they can get short and tight, which can cause issues in the low back, the shoulders, even up to the neck. You can also do the counter stretch, which would be to go the other way. So depending on the backrest of your chair, you may be able to wrap your arm around the side and take a nice stretch to the other side. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and do that to the other side. Dragging the hand down the straight leg. Think about really lifting your ribs up and over. So we want to try to avoid crunching in the side of the waist, but instead finding that length by lifting the ribs out of the pelvis and then coming up and over into that side bend. I would suggest doing 3 here. We're also doing a nice fascial stretch. We're really opening up that thoracolumbar fascia, which is fascia that goes all the way down your back and attaches to your sacrum and pelvis, which has a lot to do with back pain or just having a tight, stiff lower back. So we want to open up that tissue, create more elasticity and lubrication in the joints. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you try those exercises out. Let me know how they feel for you. Comment below. And I release these videos every week, so I will see you next Friday. And feel free to reach out to me if you would like more support. The links are below where you can check out my Wednesday Pilates Flow class at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can also join my Facebook group, Thrive Beyond Pain, where I have a lot of free movement videos, resources, and a weekly live stream on Mondays, where you can connect with a community that's centered around becoming stronger and reducing pain naturally without using medication or without surgery. And make sure that you check out the workbook that goes along with this video. You can find the link in the description box below. And you can learn simple and effective exercises that you can do throughout the day. There are more exercises in that workbook, along with my 8 hacks to find more movement throughout your day so that you can just feel better. So stay tuned for next week's video. I look forward to seeing you there. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a video. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.